My mom had passed suddenly. I was almost 15 at the time. My dad was like, I'm done parenting. You need to get married. That does something to your psychology. I was a matchmaker for a minute. Horrible. I had a vegan chili business.
Oh, okay.
Total disaster. I had a disposable toothbrush product that I had kind of invented and total flop. I lived in New York 25 years and I didn't know what stand-up comedy was. I was at ground zero. I had to wake up and build from ground zero overnight. And it was a mistake. What was I thinking for the 15 years before?
Support for Networth and Chill comes from Adobe. Planning your finances means taking a realistic picture of your life as it is now and where you want to be. But you also got to plan for the unexpected because life happens and you need to be able to edit, adapt, and collaborate with others to reach your goals. Adobe gets that, which is why they made a tool that's just as flexible. PDF Spaces and Acrobat Studio. Your PDF files are no longer static. Instead, they're living documents that flex with you and your project's needs. Learn more at adobe.com/do-that with Acrobat. What's up, rich friends? Welcome back to another episode of Networth and Chill with me, your host, Vivian 2, aka your rich BFF and your favorite Wall Street girly. Like most Americans, I turned 18, picked a college, then a major, and basically assumed that I was going to work that job that I got out of school for the next 40 years of my life until retirement. That's the dream, right? Not quite. No one tells you that you can pivot, evolve, and completely reinvent yourself at any age, and that the timeline we're sold is honestly kind of BS. But here's the thing, reinventing yourself at 40, that's kind of terrifying. Building a whole new career from scratch when you're supposed to be settled with a 401k and a sensible sedan, that takes serious guts and financial courage. For so long, we've been told there's one timeline for success, one safe path to follow, one narrow window to make your big move. But today's guest said, nah, it's never too late, and proved that your 40s can just be the beginning of something incredible. From Mumbai to Ohio, from lawyer to matchmaking entrepreneur to selling out comedy shows across the country, she's turned her unfiltered truth-telling into Hulu specials, a best-selling memoir, and tours with comedy legends like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. And her daughter? She's been right there watching, learning, and building her own path in the process. So everyone, please welcome the hilarious, inspiring, and brutally honest mother-daughter duo, Zarna and Zoya Garg.
Yay! Thank you so much for having us. So excited to be here.
We are going to have so much fun. We are going to have such a great conversation. But before we get into the hard-hitting questions, I'm going to ask a mom-daughter question.
Yeah.
Have you two ever gotten into a serious argument about money or a financial decision, and how did you resolve it?
Every day.
Yes.
Every day we fight about money.
Okay, but what?
And it is currently unresolved.
We recently thought about whether or not it makes more sense to invest in berries every day versus a very expensive bag. What's your take?
She spends a lot of money on food, inordinate amounts.
Yes. I do, but I think it's a healthy
the most
investment.
Expensive food known to man. If
So what are you eating?
I'm eating organic berries every day.
Okay.
Yes, and entire boxes gone. Not 2 berries, the whole thing.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
honest. And
honest.
then there is the matcha, and that yes.
But she buys a very expensive Hermes bag, which she then shows off on her Instagram, and she's showing off at these events. And so we actually got into a giant disagreement on live stream where we talked about, is it better to spend money on berries every single day, or is it a better investment to buy a very expensive bag?
I'm going to be entirely honest. When you first said berries, my immediate thought was that Zoya was going to berries boot camp every morning.
Well, there's also that.
Okay, all right.
There's also
I'm
that.
all of those.
Yeah.
I'm all of the
It's
above.
all the
Okay,
every health thing, every boot camp. What is it? Yoga, hot yoga, the goat yoga, the whole thing.
Goat yoga, I would never do. That's not serious enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so here's my take, and I think there's no wrong answer. However, I do think this very much shows a generational divide. I feel like our parents were very much like, oh, if I save up for something, it's like one big thing that they really get to enjoy. Like my mom also loves a designer bag. But I prefer to spend on experiences and daily lifestyle. Your mom is so mad at me right now. I can see her glaring at me.
I was like, first of all, there is a right answer.
Yeah,
You guys are wrong.
Okay.
That's the right answer.
You can blink twice.
Okay.
Don't worry.
It's not an experience to eat every day. I mean, what have you guys done?
But okay, well, so here's my question. What's wrong with the berries at Costco? Could you get like a massive thing of berries?
To me, it's just wherever I can practically pick up a carton of berries, I will go. So that typically typically ends up being like the local grocery store, which is
Okay.
much more expensive.
Yes.
I'm not good about planning ahead.
I will
That's
say
an
it is
issue.
hard. It is
no,
hard.
that's an
It's
issue.
not that hard.
But when you're single or if you're living by yourself, shopping for groceries can be just as expensive as going out to eat.
Well, it's not just groceries now, it's DoorDash.
Yeah.
I spend on food delivery so much, but I think it actually weighs out to be more, because in time, imagine how much time I'm saving, right?
Well, also, I buy the bag, right?
Yeah.
And then she borrows it.
Right. Oh, okay.
So,
Oh,
yes.
Zoya,
Somehow,
please.
We're getting the berries and the bag. Like, what is happening here? Do you understand what
yeah.
I'm
I
saying?
see.
It's called negotiation.
Okay. You know what, Zoya? I'm actually going to have to side with mom for this one because you didn't tell me that you were coincidentally borrowing the bag.
I mean,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. But the thing is that there are everyday disagreements.
Yes.
Yeah,
We work
every day.
together. And there's going to be, of course, there's disagreements. You can't agree all the time. You're not running a business then.
yeah, and
you know.
allocating funds is really challenging for us. One thing that we've constantly negotiated about recently is should we get an office? Right now, we work all over the place. We're working in cars, we're working in airplanes, we're working in hotel rooms, and a large proportion of the business is live touring shows.
Yeah.
So does it make sense for us to invest in an office where we're only going to be there maybe once a month? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a constant, because we have a team and you know,
Yeah.
but we are
Who
also
wants
on
the office and who doesn't?
I want the office because I want, but upon reflection, I want the office for legitimacy, not for reasons
Got you.
of practicality.
Yeah.
Whereas she understands it's not practical and we don't need it.
Yeah. I think the happy medium here is, so my whole team works out of my apartment. So,
See that?
but I will say this. If you are looking for legitimacy or filming content in an office setting, you can just rent a peer space for an afternoon, get all of that content in the office, and it'll be a much nicer office than one you could actually, want to spend on rent.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time, work out of your apartment.
So do you think an office is overrated?
I do.
Wow.
Because the office that I would be able to get in a location that is convenient for all of my employees would be much less nice than them just coming to my apartment.
Totally.
Right.
And it's more money spent.
Right. And it's money. And also, I assume that you also travel a lot.
A lot.
And then, I've made some of these mistakes. We used to have a house outside the city. We've made these mistakes.
Yeah.
When you tie yourself to rent or to mortgage, there's the guilt. Oh, now you're going to this third place. You're living here. You're paying for that. You're paying for the office, and now you're at this third place, trying to set up the whole thing all over again anyway. And the reality of working today in 2025 is that you have to be on the go.
Always.
You just have to. There's no negotiating that. So what will we do with an office? It'll just sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this has so far turned into a lecture for Zoya.
No, I actually really appreciate the perspective because I think when you are doing something unconventional, especially when you're young, you're looking for ways to make it make sense.
Right.
And an office feels like one of those ways that it just makes it make sense, but not necessarily something that really meaningfully helps the business. So it's interesting.
It's glamorized. And also
Yes.
Hollywood has a habit. If you see working people, they show beautiful offices.
yes, with
but
the elevator doors.
but it's a studio. That's how they shoot in one space.
Yes,
I'm such a
exactly.
sucker.
They cannot actually afford to take a camera with you everywhere they go.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about Zarna, your comedy career. You famously started it at age 40 after practicing 44
Yeah.
after practicing law for 2 decades.
No, actually, I practiced law for a little bit, and then I was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years.
Okay.
I quit. I was so bad at practicing law. I was horrible at it. I mean, at one point, all my clients were in jail. That was a sign.
No!
Yes, that was a sign. I was like, you know what? I should get out of this before I end up in there
jail
with them.
too. Yeah.
And then I decided, my husband had a good job on Wall Street,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I'll support him. I thought I would be a lady who lunches.
Yeah.
But 16 years of being home with the kids full time, I was like, I'm not that into them.
Oh, okay, cool.
No,
You're like,
no.
I'm trying to get back into my own thing.
Yeah.
But talk to me about the conversation you had with your husband when you were deciding to pursue comedy, because certainly it's not an industry known for being ultra high paying for everybody, right?
No.
It's like the very few
nobody.
people,
For
the,
no
a few
one.
people
Almost
at the top,
nobody. Yeah.
right?
Even they don't really make money in comedy. You have to
Yeah.
leverage out of the comedy. You know, you have to generally.
Yeah.
Look, my husband was very supportive because before I found comedy, I had tried like 15, 20 businesses
Yeah.
that all failed.
What
And
were
he-
some of them?
I was a matchmaker for a minute. Horrible. Real professional matchmaker. I'm not making this up. Horrible. I had a vegan chili business.
Oh, okay.
Total disaster. Then what was the other thing? Toothbrush. I had
Okay.
a disposable toothbrush product that I had kind of invented and that, total flop. So my husband was kind of like being supportive and he thought this comedy thing, you know, it's like, all right, let her try it.
Mhm.
It's going to
Mhm.
come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected it to become what it became except her, actually.
I knew.
Oh. Wait, what gave you such faith in your mom?
So when I was 14, 15, 16, that was when she was trying all these different businesses.
Mhm.
And we were always really close. I would say people often make us out to be like the awkward Gilmore Girls, like the nerdy Gilmore Girl mom and daughter. We've gotten that comment a lot where I'm obsessed with her and she's trying to run away from me. She's like, go find your friends. And so I would constantly be following her around wherever she would go. And when she was starting all of these businesses, I noticed that the reason why people would buy her products or services was because she would make them feel so good. She would stand in front of them, she would make them laugh, she would tell stories, she would start spewing all this ranting about, oh, my daughter is annoying me, my mother-in-law is calling, all of these different things.
She's got the riz.
She was just rizzing these customers up in front of me, and that's why they would buy. And I grew up in New York City. I grew up in the heart of stand-up. I would watch Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I was so enriched in that culture. I saw a business there.
Mhm.
I was like, you can actually monetize your personality. This was also when social media was rising on its own occasion, which is obviously such a ginormous part of her business. She was actually recently named one of Instagram's top 25 creators. Actually, 3 days ago, she got a gold ring to award her original creativity. It's wild. It's been 8 years, but it was there from the start.
Yeah, so he didn't, coming back to my husband, when I said I want to try comedy, he's like, yeah, sure. No one thought anything of it.
And to his defense, comedy is not a career in India.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it's not a career.
Right.
There's no
You can't be a jester as a career.
That's not engineer, lawyer, doctor, lawyer maybe.
Yeah.
Well, also, we're just not a culture that prioritizes fun at all.
Yeah.
Comedy is like, you go out to have fun. I have people now, they're like, who are all these people who buy tickets to your show? They don't understand it. Indian people, Asian people.
Yeah.
They're like,
We don't have that in our culture, that
No.
entertainment
Like, did you
piece.
grow up going to plays?
No.
Did you
No.
grow up watching movies?
No.
Like, maybe movies at home because
Right.
it's easy.
And it's free.
And
it's
the
free.
movies were all intense movies where you
yes.
learned
like
something.
a message.
Like, my dad and I were watching, like, Goodfellas and, like, The Shawshank Redemption. And I'm like,
Exactly.
what am I watching this? I'm like 8.
No, truly.
But that makes sense. I mean, my kids, they're all born and raised in Manhattan. This is a true fact. We've never bought Broadway tickets.
Ever.
Ever. We've never gone to a sporting game
No.
where we bought tickets. Now we get invitations.
Yeah, invites.
And I've taken my sons. But we've never bought tickets to these things. Like,
No.
we stay far, far away from all that pop culture stuff.
Can I tell you, some of the first, like, sporting, like, concert, like all of those things that I did those for the first time were with white people who took me.
Yeah.
Because I have never personally thought in my mind, ooh, I should
I
go
should do it.
Same.
to this.
Yeah. It's just not part of our culture.
Yeah.
And I don't even let my kids go. Like,
Yeah.
my kids' friends' parents will be like, oh, for, whatever, Jake's birthday, we're going to take the kids here. I'm like, you're never going to be friends with Jake. This is the end of this friendship.
And even her comedy show, we're only allowed to go to her comedy show because we're working and
Right.
we're
Right,
learning.
right.
Her comedy show is like you get lectured in that
Right.
show. It's not like some jokesing show.
Yes.
We're not going to anyone else's show.
Right. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And to take it back, like we talk about culture, being
Yeah.
Indian. You immigrated to America from Mumbai. You started your life in Ohio.
Yes.
Ohio.
Yes.
made you want to make the leap to America? What was your financial situation when you first arrived?
I mean, very complicated set of circumstances brought me to America.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had passed suddenly. I was almost 15 at the time. And my dad, I was the youngest of 4 kids. My dad was like, I'm done parenting. You need to get married. And it sounds jarring in America, but it's actually not that big of a deal back home. 15 is a little early even for India, but not that. Like, all my siblings were married by their late teens. So we were talking, we were off by about a year or 2 at most. And my dad didn't see much with it. He was like, I was the 4th kid. He was fed up.
Yeah.
And I get it. I have 3 kids. I now do wonder what I would be like if I had a 4th.
Right.
It's exhausting. It is exhausting. So I get it. I never held it against my dad, but he was very clear that if I didn't want to get married, I couldn't live at home.
Okay.
And I had a sister who lived in Ohio, who was married and lived in Ohio, who offered to take me in, which is how I ended up
That's really
there.
nice.
But of course, I had no money.
Of course.
I was indebted to her for years. For years, because I left and my dad was really upset. And Asian dads, they're not playing.
No.
Like if they say
they'll
no,
ice you out.
yeah, it's over. Like I was dead to him. He's like, all right, you want to go do this adventure thing with your sister? That's on you. So I came to America. My sister paid for my college, my life, my law school.
Wow.
And it's a debt that I owe her for life. And thank God for rich relatives.
Yeah, thank God for our rich sister.
Yeah. And, of course, I've settled it in my own way. But she hates when I talk about it. She hates when I talk about it because she doesn't like the idea that I think of it as a debt. We're very Indian. We're very Asian that way.
Yeah.
We're siblings. We're there for each other no
like-
matter what.
It's like there's there's a Korean phrase. I'm Chinese, but there's a Korean phrase that they said in Squid Games. It's like there's no ownership between us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she truly believes it. I don't. For clarity, I'm like, no, this is mine. This jacket is mine. This shoe is mine. But she's very much of that mindset.
Yeah.
So it was a very stressful time, but when you're taking, here's the thing. I live in New York now and I live a fairly affluent life. I mean, nobody is truly affluent in New York.
Right.
Even the billionaires feel poor.
Yeah.
Now we know. But I've been to a lot of charity events, as a lot of us are, philanthropic things. I think often in those rooms, I am one of the only people who's received charity. So, because in my case, my sister was like being very charitable, supporting me for years and years. And that does something to your psychology. When you receive charity, it like strips you of your self-esteem in a way that's very hard to explain. It's like it also fires you up in a way that like you're trying to get out of these circumstances as fast as possible, because in your mind you're a burden on everybody around you. She's not my parent. She had no obligation to do any of it, but she chose to. So it was a very, very complicated few years. But honestly, Ohio was so kind to me. I had the best time. Ohio's whatever phrase in America is the heart of it all because it's heart-shaped.
Yeah.
And it truly was a heartbeat for me.
Oh, we love Ohio.
Yes.
Also, you mentioned that like your sister had this very like immigrant culture mentality of like, I'm going to take care of my sister no matter what. But you made a joke just now that you don't really have that mentality.
No.
You're like, no, it's mine. This is yours.
Yeah.
We are separate. Is that a joke, or like do you truly feel like you've kind of kicked that immigrant mentality?
It doesn't come naturally to me the way it does to her. She literally is that generous soul who will be like, you want my car? Oh, sure, take it. Me, I'll be like, I'll resist it and be like, okay, it's my sister. I'm supposed to be good to her,
Yeah.
So I've definitely crossed over into being American. I've been here 30 plus years now. So it doesn't come as naturally to me. I have to talk my head into like, I'm Indian. We're supposed to like this.
This is supposed to feel good. Well, I guess then my question is for Zoya, like, do you feel like growing up with an immigrant parent, being first gen, here for like, American your entire life, how do you feel like your perspective on money differs versus your parents?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up feeling like money was very individualistic. And also building a career was very individualistic. Most of the people who I went to school with were so flabbergasted by this idea that we were working together and that her money was my money and that the business's money was something that we shared. Because I think America profits off of siloing people off and basically making it feel like if you don't earn your own individual salary, if you're not doing everything yourself, you're doing something almost wrong. And so I constantly was, from a very young age, battling between these ideas of like, what's mine, what's hers, what's allowed to be shared, how individual do I have to be? Now, it was because of my American attitude towards things that I was very demanding of her getting paid very early on. Everything about her business as a comedian has been very well thought out of like, what are the margins? How much are we going to sell this ticket for? How much is it going to cost to produce a video in order to like market this show? And it's always been very economical from the very beginning because, you know, that's how we were both raised. We were both thinking about that. She actually comes from a very business-oriented family too. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've learned that the more we band together as a family, the more profitable we are as a unit. That
economies of scale.
Yes.
And also we leverage from each other's strengths. Like there's a natural give and take that is, there's a shorthand that you may have with your family that you just can't have with anybody else.
Yeah.
This is not to say that you can't build with other people. It just so happens in our case that it's the family. And I'm always telling her, I have a son in college, that if you want to do something else, do that. Like, that's fine. But it's got to make sense. It's got to compete with what we're building here.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't do it just so you can say I'm doing it on my own.
Yeah.
You don't owe that to anybody.
Yeah. That's over glamorized in America, in my opinion.
Yeah, like that we all each have our own house, own car. We drive to and from each way. We don't carpool. We do, like, it's just very like me.
That lifestyle has not served women.
No.
Look at all the women. They're like, what it does is that because we don't pool resources, it puts a crushing burden on each woman. Now each woman is running a household. Now each woman is buying grocery, 80% of which we're all throwing out. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, because who can eat that? Each woman is like trying to figure out how to take care of their own one kid. Like, there's no economies of scale. That makes no sense.
I had this conversation with a girlfriend who is a mother of two the other day, and she was like, we literally realized that instead of me picking up my kid every single day from school, I could only pick up my kid and a couple other kids once a week, and then each day would be assigned to a different parent, and that way, the other 4 days, we could relax.
Yeah,
exactly.
And use that time more efficiently. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's not the story they tell in America. I think the pendulum swung too far towards independence.
100%.
And the thing is that it didn't serve women. I'm all about like, what is a good life for a woman look like? Because I have a daughter, and even for my sons, I want them to be in relationships where their spouses and their girlfriends are like empowered to live the lives they want and not be bogged down. My generation, we were bogged down by minutia. We got killed by it.
Yeah.
There was no remote work in my day. There was no like, I went like 4-day flex pay. There was none of that. And it killed entire generations of moms got pushed out of the workforce.
And it was very intentional, right? Like one story that you told that you should clarify the details of that I just love and I learned so much from is advertisers for mainstream television make more money selling on TV shows that are siloed off to specific people, right? Like making sure that an ad is placed for the boy that watches sports that is not watching what the mom is watching on the cooking show, basically separating people out so families don't watch TV together.
Yeah.
It's all very intentional to make money. It wasn't like this like cultural revolution in America. Like it was choreographed.
Yeah.
And when you're watching something alone or you're living alone or whatever, you're more vulnerable to buy nonsense, to buy shit, just to put it bluntly. When you're alone, when you're in a family unit, you're not thinking, let me go online shopping.
Right.
You're not thinking, let me have one more drink.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking any of those things. But when you're alone, that's when all those feelings are heightened and companies profit from it. I tell her all the time, I go, you should watch out because you think you're getting bored, but that whole circumstance has been created for you.
Yeah.
Zoya, I have a quick question. What is the most valuable financial lesson you have learned from your mom, either directly or indirectly?
Oh, directly, I learned how to sell.
Okay.
So in my senior year of college, I had just finished multiple tech internships. I had worked at Apple. I had worked at this Y Combinator startup. Like I had spent my undergrad learning everything I could learn about computer science because I was in the heart of Silicon Valley. That was so important to me. And I felt...
Okay. Computer science and classics.
And classics.
And classics. Don't
That's
forget.
my girl.
Don't.
That's what she
You can forget it. You can forget it. Nobody cares about the classes. She's so happy.
I'm actually so happy. You don't even understand because all the business podcasts never care about classics. But I swear it's because of classics that I can sit on these podcasts and make sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, in my senior year of college, in the very beginning, I was really lost. I was like these technology startups that I was a part of. I didn't feel like I identified with them. I didn't think my talents were being used in the correct way. And her memoir, This American Woman, which is a New York Times bestseller now, was coming out. And the publishing team told her, you need to hire somebody to basically take on this entire pre-order campaign. For people who aren't familiar, pre-order campaigns determine whether you make bestseller lists. They also determine whether or not your book is even stocked in bookstores.
Yeah.
It's all those sales before. That's why when an author is like pleading you to pre-order, that is why. It's not because they just want orders before.
Exactly.
It's like very much a
Exactly.
process. She told me, you should take on this pre-order campaign process. And in the process, you'll learn how to sell. This is a skill you use for life, regardless of whether or not you join me full-time. And for 6 months, I learned everything that you could possibly learn about learning how to sell online. We were doing live streams where we were selling a book a minute. We were going to every live comedy show and being like, if you buy 2 books, I'll give you a sweatshirt that's only available at this show. I learned about scarcity. I learned about adding value to as many people as possible. And more than that, I learned that in order to understand the value of money, you need to know how to sell. And I think that is the skill that so many young girls aren't taught because they're afraid of talking about money and numbers and deal making, but it's the reason why men get ahead.
Yeah. What about your dad? What's a piece of financial advice that you may have learned from him?
Buy expensive things. Or what's that quote that's like...
That's my friend's quote, but okay, you can attribute it to your dad.
Can you tell me that?
Yes. As per usual, the men get all the credit.
I'm
too poor to buy cheap things.
I'm too poor to buy cheap things. That is my dad's attitude towards life. He always raised the bar, even more than her, about what we could afford. We always shot above like our bracket in terms of the apartment we bought, in terms of clothes that we buy. And it was something that I learned from a very early age that it's better to actually invest really well into pieces that you love, whether that's clothes, food, workout classes, things of that kind, and use them as valuable.
Zarna's making such a face right now.
He's a princess. He loves his Loro Piana, but he buys one
and
for
then
the
wears
entire year, and he wears it everywhere.
He has a little bit of a European attitude towards fashion and life.
He wants to look nice and have nice things.
So the two of them will walk over to Butterfield, which is the most expensive grocery store. And like somehow it's, I don't know, $50 and there's 2 cases of empty berries.
Yeah.
Coming back to the berries.
Okay, we'll talk about the berries more. But like, for example, I'm wearing these earrings, these 2-tone earrings. I bought these for myself after the pre-order campaign was very successful, and I wear them every day. And they were really expensive, but I don't plan on taking them off pretty much ever.
Yeah. Good. Invest in things that'll last you through the test of time.
Yeah.
Well, within reason, because
within reason.
I have a feeling that these are going to go at some point.
So now I have kind of a contentious question.
Love
Go for it.
Zarna, do you want Zoya to marry a rich man?
No.
No,
I'll tell
okay.
you, the criteria is not rich.
Okay.
The criteria is not, I myself didn't look for a rich man. My entire dating, my own matchmaking and dating story is out there. It's viral. You can look it up. I wanted to marry a very smart and ambitious man. The idea is not to bypass the work.
Okay.
I want her to live a fulfilling life where she is part of building something with somebody. So they should get rich together. Ideal. In fact, in some way, and this is a little bit of a hot take, in some ways, I'm a little prejudiced against rich people.
Support for Networth and Chill comes from Adobe. When you write down your financial goals, you do it knowing that life happens. Your finances evolve, your timeline shifts, and the details change as needed. So if you need to be flexible and adaptable, then the documents you use to keep track of it all should be too. That's where PDF Spaces from Adobe Acrobat Studio comes in. With Acrobat Studio, you can do so much more with a PDF file than you ever thought possible. PDF Spaces takes those documents and turns them into a living project that you can edit, engage with, and collaborate with others on. You can even put all of your files into one workspace and have a whole conversation with your AI assistant about it, and ask questions to get deep insights about your project. You can also invite people to your PDF space and let them add files, comments, notes, and more. You can brainstorm through sketches or even synthesize all the info in podcast form. Acrobat Studio lets you generate an audio overview of your project in just one click. Learn more at adobe.com/do-that with Acrobat. Talk to me about that.
Because I feel like they don't have the fire. If you have it early in life and you were just given it,
No hunger.
There's no hunger. And life has many twists and turns. Like you might not be rich forever. You need to know how to survive the ups and downs of life. That would make me nervous. If she brought home a guy who was very rich from birth, I would be nervous. I would be like, the first hit and this guy's going to be out.
No, and she really means that. Like, I actually am working with a matchmaker. Like, I'm fully.
Are you?
I
Yes.
am.
It's not your mom.
It's not my mom. I mean, she's a terrible matchmaker.
Okay.
She has other talents.
I hired the matchmaker.
Okay,
She
great.
did. And I'm very comfortable and open saying that. And he has brought her genuinely like Bollywood actors who are extremely famous and royalty, like genuinely for people who might be interested in going on a date with me. And she has rejected every single one. Every single one.
Not good.
It's not because as women, we have to protect ourselves. I've learned. I've been married 26 years.
Yeah.
You have to pair up with somebody who can withstand life. And just money alone is not sufficient. It's necessary, it's not sufficient. You can earn the money. If somebody is bright, somebody is ambitious, you'll earn the money with them. She's smart enough.
Yeah.
You're smart enough. I figured it out at 45 how to earn money.
Yeah.
That can be done, but you cannot give somebody drive. You cannot give somebody that wherewithal that you need. I don't want a life for her where she's beholden to somebody's aging parents because they have no way to live.
Right.
And there's a lot of people like that in New York. I mean, my kids went to private school for many years. 80% of our private school classmates, the tuitions was paid by the grandparents. And if the grandparents decided to pull that string, they could no longer afford it. I don't want that life for my kid. I don't care how fancy it looks on the outside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So money is critical. It is fundamental, but it's got to be yours. You got to be able to claim it. You got to be able to say that I did this and I deserve it and it is mine.
Wow.
Money has to be your power.
Money has to be your power. And the only way it is your power is if it's yours. There's no other way. There's no way to bypass the hard work.
Totally.
And honestly, if you accept that and embrace it, the journey of building it is actually fun.
Yeah.
We love what we do.
Love.
And we love building what we're building. Like, we're not looking for an easy solution ever.
Yeah.
Ask anybody who's worked with us. We take the long road, the hardest road always.
We start small and we build from there, always too.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's ours. Like, in Hindi, there's a saying, it's like, jiske haath mein bat hai, wohi batting karega. It means the person who holds the bat, only he gets to bat. It's a cricket quote. That nobody else gets a say in how you use that bat.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. She's very famous. She writes a column every Monday of like business wisdom and these quotes and her analysis of them. And there are people who only follow her on Instagram for that Monday motivation.
I love quotes. So I search for quotes all over the world and I keep them in my arsenal, but I think they're very helpful. So rich is not what we're looking for.
Right. Okay.
Not
I
in
love
that way.
I love that it's not what
Does that make sense?
we're looking for. Right? Like, Vivian, I'm like, okay, my dating life, question mark. Mine?
No.
Not ours, right?
Right.
But somehow it's become ours.
Ours.
Yeah,
It's a team project. A
But
group project.
honestly, my hot take is you should introduce whoever you're serious about to your parents as soon as possible.
Why?
I think your parents have a really good gauge over whether or not somebody, like gut instinct, is worth pursuing or not. I don't think it has to be this serious thing. People make meeting the parents way too serious in America.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's like this Bachelor moment, the season semi-finale.
The hometowns.
The
Yeah,
hometowns.
my
I mean, I
God.
think
Like-
that's ridiculous. It's your parents. They should have a say in whether or not this person feels like they could fit the vibe of the family. And so I actually introduce most people that I'm like considering seriously to my mom specifically pretty quickly, but not for a very long time. I just have them talk for like 30 minutes and just see. I'm like, what's your
Okay.
gut check on this
30
situation?
minutes is enough to have them pull up their tax return on their
Oh,
phone.
okay, perfect,
You know what I mean?
perfect. We're looking at the tax return. Amazing. She's like, what is your FICO score?
Yeah.
But that's a good indicator.
That's a great-
It is a good
Yes,
one.
yes.
It's like,
that.
are you a credit-worthy person?
You are clearly in finance, and I'm obsessed.
Yeah, of course. So I want to, kind of take a turn.
Yeah.
We're going to pivot to a little bit of a serious conversation.
Yeah,
And I do want to address the elephant in the room.
please.
Zarna, you recently performed at the Riyadh Comedy Festival,
Yes.
which was pretty contentious.
Yeah.
I want to just have a conversation, and this is not a lecture. This is not anything.
No, but it can be also, no problem.
But I want to have a conversation of like, how do you make these business decisions? What compelled you to do it? And would you do it again?
Yeah. I would do it again. It was a business decision.
Yeah.
And in that case, in the case of Riyadh, it was also a little bit of an emotional decision.
Yeah.
I have 2 comedy specials, and both those specials were #1 in the Middle East for a long time. Because those women have never seen anybody who looks like me do what I do.
Yeah.
I lived in New York 25 years and I didn't know what stand-up comedy was.
Yeah.
My all-American kid introduced me to it.
Yeah.
But I, through my work, have changed lives.
Mm-hmm.
I, through my work, have empowered women to say what's on their mind
Mm.
or to laugh about what's on other people's mind around them,
Mm-hmm.
to not take life so seriously. I'm very proud of what I do. We are very proud of what we've built. So in the case of Riyadh in particular, I was very conscious that those women who are texting me, DMing me every day, come
Yeah.
here, we want to watch you with our daughters,
Yeah.
we want to watch you live, we want to see what you do. I couldn't turn my back on them. Honestly, people think it was the money, and the money was good, but it wasn't life-changing.
Right.
Just so
Okay.
it's clear, not for anybody, because I work with the agents that rep everybody.
Yeah.
The money was good, but everybody on that lineup would make that money anyway. Like,
Right.
this is the superstar lineup. Like, it's not like if I didn't go there, like, how am I going to pay my bills? It's not like that. Like, I could have done 3 shows in New Jersey, we would have made the money.
Right.
So it's not like we all just went running for the money. There's that. 2, I don't take a moral position on it because every government in the world, including America, is doing things that I don't necessarily agree with, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay out of the politics of it. I'm more concerned with what can I do for the women in that region. Because I truly, especially in the Middle East, I truly believe that in the end, the solution is going to emerge from the women. That the more those women are empowered, the more there is hope for peace, for stability, for progress for everybody.
Yeah.
And I want whatever little I can do to move that needle, I'm happy to do. Now, did I get paid? Of course I got paid.
Yes.
And I have...
As you should, by the
No,
way.
and I have offer no apologies for it. And by the way, people who think they would never, like, they're all doing business. If you live in America, you're doing business with Saudi Arabia. If you're gassing up your car, you're doing business. If you're riding Uber, the management company that reps me is partially owned by the Saudi royal family. You just don't know about it.
Right.
So it's a lot of noise about nothing as far as I'm concerned. And I had I went in with a very clear mind. We are very clear about what we do. Are we running a business or is this a hobby?
Right.
That's the first thing. As a business decision, did it make sense to go? Yes. Okay. Now, so what are the issues? And once we were like, we made our peace with it, there was nothing more to talk
And then
about.
also, what's the most diverse set of people possible that we can contribute value to? Right? Like, she was one of 3 female comedians out of 50 comedians that were invited.
Yeah.
It was a very strict list. It's not that there aren't amazing female comics. It's that her set is clean, it's relatable, and it's something that audience doesn't hear ever. And so I was really inspired, honestly, by her decision to go. I mean, I think that's probably one of the top 5 most inspiring things I've seen her do. It's not easy. It's not easy for her to also speak boldly and unapologetically on a stage like that. I can't even, it's unfathomable that people can't even appreciate like the actual American protest that she was bringing through her words on that stage.
That's what it was. Bringing freedom of speech to people who've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Half the people who made it controversial here between you and me were comics who weren't invited or who are so far into the progressive liberal side of things that there's just no room to talk to them or negotiate with them. Half of them are rep by a company that is owned by a Saudi royal family. And they just either don't know it or choose to look away.
And from like a business point of view as well, I really, we respect all the comics that have, you know, said anything about this event, good or bad. But anyone who spoke on this event in a negative way, in my opinion, was profiting off of the craziness and the engagement for themselves as well.
They turned it into a press tour. Why I wouldn't go. Like, how stupid is that? Like, we decline things every day. We don't have time to talk about it.
So I think it's important to highlight the irony in that this event, people who weren't even a part of it were getting benefit from it monetarily as well. And so,
people saying, I'm not going to go, you weren't invited.
Yeah. And even if you were, let's say, like, I think on average, we probably turn down 5 things a day. Different things for different reasons. We don't have time to talk about it. We really don't. We assume that everybody is smart enough to make their own decisions, and that's it. But I personally am very proud that I went. I think I showed Saudi women a new side of what women can be. And even if that's a start, maybe it's the smallest germ, a start of a revolution in their minds, maybe in their women hangouts. Maybe for the first time, they went home and started telling jokes about their mother-in-laws. You know, everything starts somewhere.
Our goal is to make families laugh all over the world, no matter what demographic you're in. That is our responsibility, and that's our prerogative and priority first. So
and they paid well.
I have to laugh because you're such a comedian to just follow it up with that, and they paid well. Like, I mean,
I'm not apologizing for it. But and by the way, people who came, there were some comics who came reluctantly. They were blown away. I was not. I've been to Asia and Middle East enough to know that it's not all what you see on TV here. Because if you have your view of Middle East just based on news in America, you don't know what you're talking about, honestly. But the comics who were a little reluctant were absolutely flabbergasted with the advancement. It just, you land in the airport and the level of advancement, technology, you just don't expect it.
Totally.
And you know, I think that they've gone back with their eyes open.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate the candor. I think we should continue this candid conversation. Typically, in many Asian families, Indian families, you get a Panera, you pick one, doctor, lawyer, engineer, not lawyer, not lawyer. You have famously said that you were not supportive of Zoya studying classics, of wanting to write, of doing all of these things. What changed your mind to realize that she was the best person to rep you?
I didn't want her to study classics because the degree is very expensive. The Stanford, I was like, you want to study classics, just stay at home and study classics. Go to the local, you don't go there for a $500,000 degree and all this life experience and not get the one thing it's known for.
A comp sci
degree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, keep it in your back pocket. If you want that whole experience, you got to do it. Listen, we're Asian. I made a movie. My director was a cancer surgeon on the side.
He is a Harvard cancer surgeon.
That's so funny.
But because that's how we roll, and he still practices. His mother, he's a grown man. He's
afraid of his mom, of course.
His mother still won't let him quit his medical practice. 3 months of the year, he has to stop the Hollywood thing and go practice in a medical in a hospital because she's like, I don't trust the Hollywood thing. So I get it. That, you know. The reason she's working with me is because she's the best at it. She's an execution beast. Honestly, between you and me, I'm not going to look this way. My business, I'm so serious about it that if I didn't think she had it in me, I would encourage her to get a tech job.
Yeah.
I would be like, go hide behind 3 levels of engineers, L1, L2, A, B, C, D, whatever they create. There's lots of room to hide in big companies.
Yeah.
Go enjoy the sushi bar and whatever else they do. If I
The
didn't-
ping pong table.
whatever. There's a lot of fluff attached to all that stuff. I don't have it. I'm a small business. My team is small and mighty. We are ninjas. We get things done. We show profitability. I'm known in the business as somebody who makes money for everybody that collaborates with them. That is my reputation.
Yeah.
I could not have her work with me and jeopardize my business just because she has nothing to do.
Yeah.
By running the New York Times campaign, she proved that she knows what she's doing. I gave her the assignment and I never looked at it again.
Mm-hmm.
I said, get it done.
Yeah.
And like literally get it done. Here's the budget, like for whatever little tools that she needed. I never involved myself. She took it on head on. And in fact, we had one bump along the way. You want to tell them?
I was going to say, I also really had to earn it. There were moments
There was no
during-
Nepo baby in this.
I mean, I honestly envy the Nepo baby thing because I being her daughter, a lot of people think that it's just like, oh, you have a famous parent. But I really struggled to like figure out, especially this campaign, like they're really early into the campaign. I remember it had been like a month in and I had shown no numbers. There were no pre-order numbers. Yeah. There was no views. There was no work to speak for all the ideas that I had about how to sell the book. And she looked at me and she said, Zoya, I'm going to give this job to someone else. I'm going to give not only this job to someone else, but I'm going to give what this journey can teach you to someone else because you don't deserve it. And I was so devastated. I really had to put our personal relationship aside in order to actually hear what she was saying. But the very next day, I like hit the ground running. I was like, I don't care what it takes. I'll hold a sign in the middle of my college campus that literally says 3 books equals 1 sweatshirt.
Yeah.
If that's what's going to get the job done. And that is what got the job done. So I think one thing that I think is really interesting is a lot of people who are trying to learn how to make money out of college, they like can't figure it out. It's really stressful. People don't want to take a leap. But if you can deliver somebody a process from 0 to 100 of XYZ thing will get done, all the people involved will get a win. I'm going to deliver value in all of these different ways. You will make money. And you will be a power player to whoever you're serving, right? And I have job offers out the wazoo. I mean, like every single person that I worked with wants to hire me. I've gotten a pre-order campaign job offer from I think every notable author right now in the last 6 months. And I earned that because people saw this girl sold 10,000 pre-orders. That's over $300,000 worth of pre-order revenue of something that didn't even exist yet.
Yeah,
Right.
You'll see. Pre-order is tricky because you're selling something that doesn't exist.
And people don't read anymore.
No,
so
I
you
know.
have
Well,
to
there's that.
incentivize. You have to incentivize people to see the value in a product that they're probably not even going to consume.
But I want to add, because a lot of women watch your podcast, listen to your podcast. In the early days of the pre-order campaign, because she's in Silicon Valley, she's surrounded by tech founders. Everybody is chasing the unicorn, right? There were friends who would say to her, why are you doing such low vibration work?
Oh, yeah.
Low vibration work is crazy.
Or low status. People
Low
would
stat-
constantly say, Zoya, you worked at Apple, you go to Stanford, you have all these VC connections. Like, why are you not just going down this path of raising millions of dollars and doing an AI startup and applying it to the comedy industry? Very like big words that are very hollow. And it took me so long. It took me seeing what sales was doing for my confidence, honestly, as a human being. Like every time I sold a pre-order, I became a better person. Honestly, like genuinely, I did.
And we were very clear. I remember telling her, I'm like, I don't have room for shiny pennies in my business.
Yeah.
You got to mean something. You got to bring something to the table. And life is about sales. Business is about sales. The whole game is sales.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what you're selling.
Yeah.
Whatever this low vibration thing is, I don't know what goes on in Silicon Valley because I feel like now we're at an age where every kid is waking up thinking, I'm not an AI billionaire yet. The AI rocket hasn't hit me yet. Like, relax, people. Just give somebody value.
And the reason we're bringing that up also is because entrepreneurship has become conflated with that.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is very different than that. Entrepreneurship to me is distinctly creating ways of making money for some service or product that is adding something different or is making something better. That's it. That's all it is. And we have a lot of criticism of all that, but I'm glad I didn't listen to all that kind of.
But she was almost fired. But she was.
I genuinely was.
You got performance improvement plan by your mom.
No, yeah. I mean, can you imagine what she's like as a boss? You've seen her on stage. You've seen her in this podcast. Can you imagine the kind of threat? I mean, it was
She
serious.
has high demands because she brings a lot to the table herself, and you want someone to match that energy.
And people rise to the expectations set to them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we are running out of time, but I want to ask one question to each of you. It's the same question. What is your biggest money regret and why?
It's going to be a hot take.
Okay.
My biggest money regret is not taking control of my own financial destiny earlier in life. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years. And my husband is a Wall Street professional and very nice guy and very trustworthy. So it's not that. But every single woman should take control of her financial destiny. And I learned it the hard way. Because when bad times hit, which they did, my husband lost his job during COVID. He got completely frazzled and I was at ground zero.
Right.
I had to wake up and build from ground zero overnight. And it was a mistake. What was I thinking for the 15 years before?
Right.
Don't ever put yourself in that situation. Ever. Every woman, no matter what your circumstance, no matter who you marry, no matter who you date, you must have your own money and you must have your own financial plan for yourself and also for your family.
I love that. That is an incredible piece of advice. Zoya?
Using my college investment in a way that I don't think was actually accurate and right for my purposes. I think a lot of people feel all sorts of ways when they graduate college. Like, I could have done this and I could have done that. And no matter what you're doing, if you're going to a private university, someone is proportionally making up a $500,000 investment plus housing plus everything else on your behalf, or for you are paying it for yourself. I regret not working full-time as soon as possible in college. I think every college student should have a full-time job and treat college like a part-time job and not treat their classes like they're so important, should use the environment to meet as many people as possible. I'm glad I got a hard skill.
Why is your mom laughing?
Because she I think she'll probably disagree with me here, but the work experience that I got in those last 2 years of my undergrad were so much more valuable to me and actually made me a better student because I was so learning how to time manage class with my full-time job with, socializing. And I think students should learn that as soon as possible and should not get caught up in getting more degrees. These colleges are so unethical in that way because they sell this promise of if you get this master's degree, you'll get a higher paying AI job.
And it's not true.
And it's not true. They're stealing time from you. That's time that you could be exploring and figuring things out and working for somebody or building something of your own. And I have a real gripe with higher education. And I really think that I could have used my investment a little bit differently.
I think that's wise too. Be conscious of why you are going to college and what it's for and what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Can I just give you one piece of advice to your people, because it's something your audience in particular and my daughter, lot of men and women of this age, 20s, 30s, they're caught up in dating and then also the job and should I take a job? Now for women, I tell my daughter, just if you like somebody and you want to get married and get divorced if it needs to be that way.
Really?
You don't need to be thinking of it as a lifetime commitment. That has not served women either.
Okay.
Because the men get in and out of marriages, as we've seen. It's the women who are like, but I thought we were going to get old together. And then they make all these financial mistakes. They give up their financial future because they're trying to appease the guy or worse yet, support him. Yeah. So, which he might just turn around and say, I didn't even ask for it, which happens today all the time.
Yeah.
Now I tell my daughter, I tell all the women, don't take marriage so it's not life or death. If you make a mistake, you'll get out of it. In fact, maybe make that mistake early, get it out of your system so you can focus on building your financial future. Because we are all, as I'm aging, I'm 50, I have so many friends, women, who are in horrible situations now because they trusted their partners, they trusted their spouses. Now they're divorced or worse things have happened, they're widowed or whatever. And now they have nothing. They're suddenly in America with no means to support themselves, or the money they thought was going to last them a lifetime is not going to last them 5 years. And it's very, very shocking and jarring. So I tell everybody who is watching and listening, and it's a real hot take. I get trolled for it all the time and I don't care. But my job is to empower women into living lives that they own their destinies of. And that is not going to happen without your own money. It's just not.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's the right take. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, for sharing our laughs. I completely understand why you are just as charismatic and fun and bubbly in person. What's next for the both of you, and where can everybody listening and watching find you?
At Zarna Garg Family Podcast, if we don't blow up.
Yeah.
If we don't fight our way into an explosion.
We fight on the internet about money, politics, sex, everything you could possibly fight with your family about. We put it all on the internet. That's our little thing. But you can also find me at Zoya Garg _ pretty much everywhere.
And I'm at Zarna Garg everywhere. And, be part of this world. It's social media. Be social.
And please direct message us what you disagree about with us on this podcast, because I live for that. I live for the debate. I am a debater over DM. I respond to every single DM.
Do you really fight with people on DM?
All the time.
Zoya, that's crazy.
I know.
You want to know, okay, this is a secret tip. You want to know where you can sell the most product? Instagram DM.
Yeah.
DMs are customer service tickets now. That is literally a customer. So if you're talking to somebody and you send them a link and you create a compelling enough reason, I was on Instagram DM 4 hours a day every single day for 6 months for this pre-order process, being like, you should consider buying this book for this reason, for this business, for this human being, and it worked. Highest conversion tool.
Also, it's one of the best ways to reach very famous people. People don't know that because very famous people usually have a wall of agents and managers around them whose only job is to keep you away. But they don't hand over their Instagram accounts easily. Yeah. Because they're trying to keep it that private. They don't want people in their DMs. So there is a way to get through to very famous people. If you're trying, Instagram DMs is one of the last things they're going to hand over to a rep.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow. And on that note, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. This was so fun.
Support for Networth and Chill comes from Adobe. For a long time, turning something into a PDF kind of felt like creating a digitized fossil, like you were encasing all your grammar errors in resin for your whole team to see in perpetuity. But what if your PDF was alive? You could engage with it, collaborate through it, and ask it questions with the help of an AI assistant. You could even let your PDF talk to you by turning it into a podcast. With PDF Spaces, your PDFs stay dynamic and alive, letting you do more than you ever thought was possible. Learn more at adobe.com/do-that-with-Acrobat. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Networth and Chill, part of the Vox Media Podcast Network. If you liked the episode, make sure to leave a rating and review and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Got a burning financial question that you want covered in a future episode? Write to us via podcast@yourrichbff.com. Follow Networth and Chill Pod on Instagram to stay up to date on all podcast-related news, and you can follow me at yourrichbff for even more financial know-how. See you next week. Bye!